Okay. Okay, so for tonight's practice, I want you to start in a child's pose. So bring in the big toes together and the knees come wide, or they can come closed, whatever you prefer. Bringing the bum onto the heels and walking the hands forward. Now, while you're in this child's pose, you may want to tuck under your toes so you can get a nice gentle stretch going in the bottom of the feet, but you have a choice. And then with the forehead onto the mat, the palms are onto the mat. Try to have all aspects of the hand and the fingers touching the mat and rooting down. Just feel the mat connect with the hands and maybe the forearms. And just notice at what spot on your arms you're no longer touching the mat. And as you inhale, imagine your palms rooting down. And they're not going anywhere, but as you exhale, imagine that you're slowly pulling the mat towards you, feeling the scapulas or the shoulder blades sliding down away from the ears. Maintain this connection, but if you're noticing any tension, see if you can give a little ease into any of those areas. Now as you inhale, working down the back, start noticing how the rib cage expands as the inhale happens and how it knits in as the exhale comes out. And then if you can, slowly try to reach the sit bones a little bit closer to the heels if you can. Maybe you need to pull the belly button into the spine just a little bit. See if this is serving your low back, if you're wide kneed or closed kneed. And if it's not, maybe make some adjustments here. Maybe you need to close your knees or widen your knees. So find what you need here. And then feel the knees connect onto the mat, maybe the shins. And once again, same thing with the arms. Notice at what point maybe the shins aren't connecting with the mat, or they are. And just take a few cycles of breath here, fully in through the nose. Slowly out through the nose. Taking a few cycles of breath. Take your nice full inhale. And on your exhale, slowly start transitioning into a downward dog pose. So maybe you're coming through tabletop, placing the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking under the toes, and coming into downward dog. So the hips are coming high to the sky. And same thing with your child's pose. Your feet can be hip distance apart, or maybe to begin, you want to explore taking the feet as wide as the mat. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths, so you can find some stillness or you can find some movement, but stay with the pace of breath you're setting. Rooting down through your hands are connected with the mat, and you're slowly pushing away as you exhale. And then use the same connection with your feet, rooting down in the inhale and then sliding the hips up higher to the sky as you exhale. 5 more breaths here. Two more breaths. And then let's meet with feet hip distance apart. So if you went wide, bring them in. Reach the right leg behind you in a 3-legged downward dog. Push out through the right heel, really engage the right leg totally. And then guide the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Look forward, crown of the head reaches forward, rooting down through the right foot. Spin your left heel down onto the mat and start pushing out through the outside of the left foot. Take a cycle of breath here, engaging the left leg and feeling the outside of the left leg light up. Root down through the right foot. And then in your own way, slowly start straightening the right leg. So you're going to feel a gentle stretch in the right leg on the outside of the hip, and then in the left leg on the outside of the left leg. Some of us are going to want to come up onto fingertips, giving ourselves a little height. Others of us are going to be okay with palms touching the mat. So find where you need to be. Guide the right hip back towards the mat best as can be. And you're feeling the gentle stretch in the hamstrings here. Don't overdo it. Just a few more breaths. So see where you're tensing in your body and just invite it to relax. Two more breaths. See if you can guide the right hip towards the back of the mat. Root down through the left foot. And then as you inhale, bend back into the right knee. Rotate the left heel back up. And then send your right leg back into your downward dog pose. Using this pose as a transition, we'll take one cycle of breath here. And then guide the left leg high to the sky. Push out through the left heel again. Engage the left leg. And then set the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Once again, find your foundation in your left foot. Reach the crown of the head forward. And then spin your right heel down. So now you're pushing out through the outside of the right leg and the pinky side of the right foot. Feel what that feels like first. And then when you have a grounding, slowly start straightening the left leg. And once you find the sweet spot of where your hands need to be, maybe it's high, maybe it's low, guide the left hip back towards the back of the mat. And then stay here for a few cycles of breath. Try not to assign value to anything that's restricting you, but encourage anything that's tensing. Two more breaths. See if you can deepen just a little bit more. Be gentle. Beautiful. Slowly start bending back into the left knee. Spin the right heel up. And then set the left foot back to meet right in your downward dog pose. Let's take two more breaths here. And then send the right leg high to the sky, 3-legged downward dog. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Cool. Left toes are planted, push out through the left heel. Set the right hand to the inside of the right thigh. And slowly come onto the pinky edge of the right foot. So Some of us will have nice flexible hips and our right knee will go a little bit lower. Others of us, it's just gentle. Try to keep the left hip lifted so you're not dumping so much onto the right, or sorry, the left hand. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly set the right foot down in heel toe, the right foot in line with the shoulder and right hand to the outside of the right foot. Then when you're ready, drop the belly, look on up, give yourself a nice low lunge, dropping the left knee. And then as you exhale, slowly start straightening the right leg, coming into a cat back pose. So you have a pseudo pyramid. And then flow here at the pace of your breath, finding your cow back, low lunge on the inhale. Pyramid pose, cat back on the exhale. Just getting some rhythm and flow going in the hips. You'll feel this in the hamstrings, in the quads, and even in the low back. Let's just do this 3 more times. And then we'll meet in a high runner's lunge. Pushing out through the left heel, right foot is planted, fingertips or palms are onto the mat, crown of the head is reaching forward. And then step the right foot back to meet left downward dog. Just in these 2 breaths, I really want you to focus on rooting down through the hands and the feet on the inhale and see if you can create a little lift on the exhale. Awesome. Reach the left leg high to the sky. Left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. Coming into your high runner's lunge, pushing out through the right heel. Don't let the right knee drop. And then set the left hand to the inside of the left thigh and slowly come onto the pinky edge of the left foot. Keep the right leg activated by lifting the right hip. Don't allow yourself to dump. 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, set the left foot down, come in line with the shoulder, coming back into your high runner's lunge. And then drop the left knee, or sorry, the right knee just a little bit, finding your cow back in a low lunge. And then pyramid legs and a cat back on the exhale. So slowly start flowing back and forth here at the pace of your breath, getting a little more movement going in the sacral iliac joint, or the space above the back hips. Just a few more rounds. Last round. And then we'll all meet in our high runner's lunge, feeling the connection. And then stepping the left foot back to meet right in our downward dog. Beautiful. Let's take a few cycles of breath here. Two more breaths. Awesome. Reach the right leg high to the sky. Step the right foot through to the hands. You've been here in a high runner's lunge. Now slowly drop the left knee into a low lunge. And just sink the left knee over, or sorry, the right knee over the right ankle. One more round of breath. And then keeping the right heel planted, slowly guide the bum to the left heel, straightening the right leg. And you can stay up nice and tall here. Maybe you have blocks to put your hands on. Or if you're happy here and you want to go a little deeper, slowly start folding over the right leg. So now you have your half split pose. And if you want to go deeper still, you can take a hold of the right foot with the left hand and pull yourself a little deeper if you would like. Just honor where you're at. Where in this pose can you maintain your breath? And then when your next inhale happens, slowly find your low lunge, lifting the knee, and then step the right foot back to meet left, downward dog. Beautiful. Lift the right leg high to the sky. Step the right foot through to the left foot, sorry. Lift the left foot high to the sky. Step the left foot through the hands. And then drop your right knee, so now you're in your low lunge. Sink the left knee over the left ankle. Taking a few cycles of breath here. And you know, while you're here and you're in a moment of pause, notice where you're tensing, if you can release. And then let your inhale guide your bum back towards the right heel as you keep the left heel planted. Left toes will come up, straightening the left leg. And finding where you need to be in this pose. It could be up high. It could be folded over, or it could be the right hand taking a hold of the left foot. Two more breaths. And then slowly find your low lunge. Tuck under the right toes, lift the right knee, step the left foot back to meet right, downward dog. All right, let's have a little fun. Use your inhale to shift forward into your plank pose. Let's stay here for a few cycles of breath, grounding our hands into the earth. Feeling the energy move up our arms and into our shoulders, pushing out through the heels. Crown of the head is reaching forward, keeping softness in the back of the neck. One more breath. And then dropping the knees, the chin, and then the chest to the ground. Slowly roll up into a baby cobra pose. Let's stay here for a few cycles of breath. So the hands are underneath the shoulders. The shoulder blades are dropping down and away from the ears. There's softness in the glutes. You should feel a gentle compression in the low back. Tops of the feet are onto the mat. One more full cycle of breath here. And then as you exhale, drop the head to the mat, push up into plank pose, and then back into downward dog for 3 breaths. From here, walk your feet to the back of your hands, finding your forward fold. And then let's slide our hands up to about shin height, maybe it's thigh high, for a halfway lift, straight back, flat back. Folding forward, keeping the feet rooted down, bend the knees, and slowly bring yourself up to standing. Rolling one vertebrae up at a time. Be gentle, be careful. And then coming up to standing, crown of the head is reaching up high to the sky. The Knees are softly bent. The arms are forward. Take a few cycles of breath here and let everything level back out. Awesome. Reach your arms up high. Fold forward. Find your halfway lift. And then this time, plant your hands, step your right foot back into your high runner's lunge. Set your right heel down, and then slowly lift your arms up, coming up into a warrior one pose. Push your left foot into the mat, but then remember when you were pushing the outside of the right foot into the mat, see if you can replicate that. And then guide the left hip ever so slowly towards the back of the mat. Keep the arms raised high. Maybe guide the right hip forward just a little bit. Having a nice, strong, solid foundation here. Turn the pinkies in if you need a reminder to have the shoulders come down and away from the ears. Beautiful. And then slowly open up your hips to the right side, coming into your warrior two pose. So some of us will adjust our back foot just a little bit, but keep pushing out through the outside of the right foot. Keep the left knee bent. Bring the arms out to a T and look out over the left fingertips, warrior two. We'll stay here for a few cycles of breath so you can feel what it feels like to activate all the muscles to root down and ground down in this pose. And then keeping the strong bend in the left knee, drop your right hand to the back of the right thigh. Left hand is coming high to the sky. Once again, if you're pressing down through your feet as you're doing this, you're creating this beautiful lift in the torso so you can reach the left arm up high. And then let's have a little fun. Take the gaze, turn it towards the right foot, looking to the outside of the right foot. Keep pushing down through the right foot and the left foot as well. You'll feel this nice isometric stretch. Awesome. Let your inhale guide you into your warrior two pose. Exhale. And then reach your arms up high to the sky. Return back into your warrior one. Bend is still strong in the knee. Awesome. Frame the left foot with both hands. Have your left foot meet the right foot in your plank pose. Push out through the heels here. And then when you're ready, drop the knees, the chin, the chest, and then come into your baby cobra pose, or maybe you're ready to come up a little higher. And then as you exhale, lower down slowly. Go ahead and push yourself up into plank pose and then downward dog for 3 breaths. Awesome. Reach your left leg high to the sky. Step your left foot through to your hands. All right. Slowly step the right foot in just a little bit and then set your right heel down like you're going to do your warrior two. And then when you are ready, slowly bring your arms up so the bend is strong in the left knee still. Push out through the right foot. Hands come onto the hips. Slowly straighten the left leg without locking the knee and stand up nice and tall here. If you want, you can reach the right arm up. Okay. As you exhale, hinge forward at the waist. Give yourself a nice flat back, reaching the right fingertips forward if you're going with that method. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Stay here if you would like and focus on rooting and grounding of the feet. and straightening the spine. This is beautiful. But if it's in your practice and you want to explore it, maybe you come down into a full pyramid pose, framing both hands around the left leg. Nose is coming to the knee. So we're all at different points, and find what you need here. Really keep the foundation in the feet strong. Don't let anything collapse. 2 more breaths here. Notice what you're tensing and see if you can release. And then ever so slowly and carefully, let's all frame the left foot, bend into the left knee. Step the right foot to meet the left in your forward fold. Awesome. Let's find a halfway lift. And then carefully and without fuss, fold forward. Rooting down through your feet, reach your arms up high to the sky as you inhale. And then bring them down to the side, palms forward as you exhale. Take grounding breaths here and just honor the difference between the left and the right. Awesome. Reach your arms up high to the sky as you inhale. Slowly fold forward on the exhale. Find a halfway lift. This time, plant your hands and step your left foot back. High runner's lunge. Ground your left foot down, push out through the left heel. Remember, you've been here before, but just in different ways. Create foundation and grounding in the right foot, and then use your inhale to bring your arms up high to the sky, warrior one. Gentle here. Keep the bend strong in the right knee. And once again, you can guide the right hip back and the left hip forward. Arms come up high to the sky. Turn the pinkies in as a reminder to keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Really plant your feet here so you can get a nice lift. We'll be here for 2 more breaths, so see if you can have your weight totally on both feet. Make sure one side isn't favoring the other. And then as you exhale, turn your hips open to the left. Find your warrior two pose. Looking out over your right fingertips, bend strong in the right knee. Keep pushing out through the outside of the left foot. Reach your fingertips away from each other. And then drop your left hand to the back of the left thigh. Right hand comes high to the sky, peaceful warrior. I know you're feeling tired in the right knee, but keep the bend strong. You've got this, you're good. And then slowly take the gaze to the back of your mat, to your left foot, to the outside of your left foot. And as you're looking at it, it's a nice reminder to root down, but then also root down to the right foot. Awesome. Slowly find your way back into your warrior two, your warrior one. And then frame your right foot meets left plank pose. Staying here, pushing the crown of the head forward, heels back, scapulas drop down and away from the ears. Drop the knees, the chin, the chest, and then find your cobra pose on the inhale. And then as you exhale, release, push back into downward dog. Two more breaths here. See if you can keep your feet rooted down on the inhale and pushing up on the exhale. And then reach your right leg high to the sky. Step your right foot through to your hands. Step your left foot forward just a little bit and step the left heel down. Bend strongly in the right knee as you bring yourself up. Hands come onto the hips. Straighten the right leg. If you want, you can keep your hands on your hips, or maybe you reach your left arm up high to the sky. And then in your own way, slowly start folding at the waist until you can give yourself a nice flat back. Stick with the flat back if that's what you're working on, but if you want to go a little deeper, you can explore full pyramid pose here. Knowing we'll be here for 5 breaths, and while you're here in this 5 breaths, make sure you keep equanimity in the feet, that the outsides aren't favoring, that the heels are helping just as much as the toes. Keep reaching forward with the spine long and strong. 2 more breaths. Beautiful, and then no matter where you're at, slowly release your hands down, bend into the right knee, left foot meets right foot, forward fold. And then in your own way, slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time until your arms are coming up high to the sky, and bring them down to the side. Take a few cycles of breath here. Rooting down, grounding down. And then reach your arms up high to the sky as you inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Find a halfway lift and step back into downward dog. Beautiful. Reach your left leg high to the sky and step your left foot through to your hands into your high runner's lunge. Place your left hand in front of your left foot, and then place your right hand onto your right hip, and then slowly start lifting the right leg up off of the mat as you straighten your left leg. If you're feeling comfortable and stable here, you feel like you can keep the shoulders coming down and away from the ears. You're pushing your left foot into the mat, your nice strong standing leg. When you are ready, start reaching your right hand up and coming into your half moon pose. Two more breaths here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the right hand back onto the hip. Set your right foot down. Right hand comes back onto the mat, coming back into your high runner's lunge. And then step your left foot back to meet your right and come into downward dog. Two more breaths here. Beautiful. Reach your right leg high to the sky. Step your right foot through to your hands, coming into your high runner's lunge. And then your right hand comes in front of your right foot, left hand on the left hip. And then slowly start lifting the left leg up as you straighten the right leg. And once you feel like you have a nice foundation in the right foot and you're pushing out through the left heel, reach your left arm up high to the sky, coming into your version of half moon. Two more breaths. And then slowly bring the left hand onto the left hip. Set the left foot down. Set both hands down to frame the right foot. Step your right foot back into your downward dog pose. Awesome. Shift forward into plank. And then drop your knees, the chin, the chest. and come long onto your mat. Zip the legs together and allow the heels to fall in. Stack your hands on top of each other and come into a crocodile pose just for a few breaths. And I want you to use these few breaths as a body scan. Notice if you're tensing anywhere. See if you can release. And just take a little inventory of what you're feeling. But try not to assign value. And just with this last breath, just notice how your body moves as it breathes. Awesome. Okay, tops of the feet come onto the mat. Slowly bring your forearms onto the mat so the elbows are underneath the shoulders and push yourself up nice and tall. Okay, while you're here, just practice keeping the glutes easy and relaxed. It's really easy to tense the glutes here. So I just want you to take a breath here. Notice what it feels like to keep the glutes relaxed and the shoulders down and away from the ears, pulling the heart forward. All right. Elbow is underneath the shoulder. Turn your right hand in front of you, okay? And if it feels like it's too close and you need a little more stability, just bring your elbow to the top of your mat a little bit more. Push yourself up and bring the left heel to the glute. Reach the left hand back, coming into a half bow pose on the left side. I'm trying to think. You're balanced on your right and you're opening up to your left. So this is nice practice to keep the glutes relaxed as you're giving a little compression into the low back. And then also you're reaching back for the left foot. Some of us can touch our left foot. Others of us are just going to be reaching back. But you're externally rotating the shoulders open. So it's a gentle, gentle heart opener here. One more breath. And then in your own way, slowly release. Set both elbows underneath the shoulders. Press the forearms into the mat and push yourself up. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Awesome. Let's switch sides. So bring the left forearm in front of you, parallel to the top of the mat, and maybe adjust the distance. Bring the right heel to the glute and then reach back for the right hand. Push the top of the foot into the right hand. Feel the heart opening on the right side. Keep the glutes easy and relaxed. See here if you can push the heart forward a little bit as you press down into the left forearm. But be easy, be gentle. Don't just push into it to get into the shape. Enjoy the small movements as you get there. One more breath. And then in your own way, slowly release both hands down. Both forearms come underneath the mat. Elbows are underneath the shoulders and push yourself up. Okay, slowly lower the forehead onto the mat. And this is an opportunity now to come into full bow pose. If you want to do half, I'll cue you the halfway mark. So if you feel like you want to do half, and then I'll cue a halfway mark. If we're doing full, we'll do full, and I'll cue for both. We got this. Okay. So if you're doing half, set yourself up. If you're doing full, bring the forehead onto the mat. Bring the heels into the glutes and reach back for the tops of the feet. If you're doing half, slowly grab the top of your foot and push yourself up. If you're doing full, use your inhale to lift the chin, lift the chest, and push into the tops of the feet. No matter where you're at, keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Let your inhale guide you up a little higher. If you're doing half, slowly release. Switch sides. And let your inhale guide you up. If you're in full bow, one more breath. If you're in full bow, slowly release. Place the forehead onto the mat. Release the legs. If you're in half bow, slowly release. And let's all meet with hands stacked, top of the forehead onto our hands. Beautiful. All right, let's place the hands underneath our shoulders. Slowly push yourself up into a plank pose. Push out through the tops of push out through the heels. Crown of the head is reaching forward. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Bring the belly button into the spine. Keep things easy here. Notice where you're tensing. 3 more breaths. You've been practicing for this moment right here. And then when you're ready, send your hips up high to the sky, downward dog. Let's take 5 breaths in this downward dog. Two more breaths. And then reach your right leg high to the sky. And bring your right knee through to your hand, setting yourself up for your pigeon pose. So the right heel is touching the left hip. Keep the left toes tucked under as you decide how long you need some length in your left quad. Untuck the left toes. Come up nice and tall. Relax anything you can in the low back. Just a little back bend. You might feel some compression. And then when you're ready, slowly start folding forward, where you'll be in a reclined pigeon pose for the next 90 seconds. Thirty more seconds. And then let your inhale slowly guide you up, placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Take a breath here. Tuck under your left toes and send your right leg back into your three-legged downward dog, and then downward dog. 2 more breaths. Use this as a reset. And then send your left leg high to the sky. Left knee through to your hand, setting yourself up for pigeon on the left side. Keep the right toes tucked under as you gauge the distance your right knee needs to be from your right hip. Come up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, slowly start folding forward. Coming into your pigeon pose, where you'll be for the next 90 seconds. 30 more seconds. See if you can soften into this pose. And then slowly bring yourself up. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Tuck under your right toes. Send your left leg high to the sky, down, three-legged downward dog. And then left foot meets right. This is your last downward dog. So see if you can really root down in your hands and feet equally. Sending the hips up high to the sky. And then let your exhale guide your feet to the back of your hands, finding your fold. And then bending the knees so deeply that the bum comes onto the mat. And then you're coming into a nice seated pose. Beautiful. Send both legs long in front of you. Cross the right foot over the left knee and hug the right knee into your chest. If you would like, the left leg can stay long, left toes are up. But if you want, you can always bring the left heel to the right glute. And then no matter where you're at, let your right hand be a little kickstand. Reach your left arm up. And then slowly twist over to the right side. Hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. If that's not available to you, hug the right knee into the chest with the left arm. Come up nice and tall. After you have length in the spine, then twist over. Maybe the gaze comes out over the right shoulder. Take a full inhale here and let your exhale guide you over to the left side, giving yourself a nice counter twist. And then release, bringing both legs long again. Set the left foot to the outside of the right knee. And then, you can stay here if you would like, but you can also make the choice of bringing the right heel to the left glute. Use your left hand as a kickstand behind you so you can come up nice and tall. Reach your right arm up high to the sky and slowly hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee or hugging the left knee into the chest with the right arm. Create length in your spine. Use the length to rotate open to the left side. Take a few more cycles of breath. Take a full inhale. And as you exhale, give yourself a counter twist to the right side. Awesome. All right. Bring both legs long in front of you. Heels are planted, toes are up. Reach both arms up high. Fold forward. Some of us are going to be able to touch our feet, our toes, or our shins. It doesn't matter as long as you have your nice long spine. You can relax in your low back and then fold forward. Two more breaths, nice and full. And then as you inhale, slowly bring yourself up. And then bring your feet flat onto the mat about hips distance apart. Hug the knees into the chest. Come up nice and tall. Tuck the chin into chest as you slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. So we'll all have our feet flat, our knees up, and the back of the head will be onto the mat. Arms will be down to the side. All right, hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze as you rock from side to side. And then send your left leg long onto the mat. Left heel touches, left toes are up. Hug the right knee into the chest. Take the right arm out to a T and use your left hand to guide your right knee across body. Nice gentle twist here. Maybe you take the gaze out over the right fingertips. Keep the left toes planted. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, take the gaze back up. Hug the right knee into the chest. Have the left knee meet the right. And then switch sides. Send your right leg long. Send your left arm out to a T. Use your right arm, right hand to drag your left knee across body. Giving yourself a nice gentle twist. And then when you're ready, taking the gaze out over the left arm. And then as you inhale, slowly come back into center. Hug both knees into the chest. If you would like, take a happy baby pose here. Take a hold of the bottoms of the feet. Gently rock from side to side. And then hug the knees back into the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and give yourself a nice squeeze. Maybe bring the nose to the knee. And then send your one leg long. It doesn't matter which one. And then the other one. Bring your arms up overhead and give yourself a nice full body stretch. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down to the side for your Shavasana pose. If you would like here, be in a deep mindful breath for at least 3 cycles of breath, and then allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm. Knowing that I'm minding the time for you and I will call you back when it's ready. Begin to start taking control over your breath. Take a few cycles here before you transition into the next thing. Enjoy this moment. And then however you need to, make your way onto your right side. And stay here. And then ever so carefully use your left hand to prop yourself up, coming into a seated pose. Place your palms onto your thighs and sit up nice and tall here with your eyes closed. Noticing how the inhale comes in the nose and out. Reach your arms up overhead and bring the palms together in prayer down through heart center. Let the thumbs touch the sternum and give yourself a nice soft bow. I honor this place inside of me in which the entire universe dwells. It is a place of tranquility. It is a place of peace. And it is a place of love. And when I am in this place in me and you are in this place in you, together we are one. Namaste. Awesome.